Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to my channel again. Within this video, we're going to be focusing on the markup for the dashboard. Now, unfortunately, this might take a bit long because I'm going to be using my own custom CSS to do the overall layout and styling for the dashboard. We won't be utilizing Bootstrap a lot within this particular video. Now, if you remember, within the demonstration video, the design that I went for the dashboard was something similar to this. Now, though I did make some changes within the final design, but the overall layout is going to pretty much be the same. So the menu panel is going to be on this side, and then this will be the content, main content area. Now, the first thing I need to do is within the CSS folder, I'm going to create a separate CSS file for the dashboard. Then I'm going to create a page for the dashboard itself. Then initialize the boilerplate for it. So I'm going to change the title now to dashboard. All right, apologies again if I'm moving a bit fast. Like I said, I'm trying to keep these videos as short as possible. So if I am moving a bit fast, just pause the video, just try and copy whatever it is I've done so far. Now, within the body, I'm going to create an element which is going to be the main wrapper for all the contents that are going to go within the dashboard itself. Then I'm going to give the div a class of main wrapper. Okay, so that's our main wrapper there. Now, before we create any other elements within this page, the first thing I need to do is do the styling for the body and for the main wrapper itself. So now the first thing I'm going to do here is link all the style sheets we're going to need. And get the Bootstrap. Then I'm also going to add the dashboard .css file I created. And then finally, we're going to get font awesome. Okay. Okay, so for the body, it's going to pretty much be the same as the other pages we did, but with some slight changes. So the margin is going to be 0px, and then the padding is also going to be 0px, and then the height is also going to be 100 viewport heights. And then the background color, just about light gray. Okay, and then for the main wrapper, okay, so the width is going to be 100%, and then the height is also going to be 100%. And then I'm just going to give it a border just so I can be able to see how it's positioned. All right. So right, before we continue, let's just see how it actually looks for the time being. Okay, so as you can see, our main wrapper is expanding all across the whole page there. Okay, now I'm going to create two elements within this main wrapper here. So the one element is going to be for the menu panel, and then the second element is going to be for the main content area. So I'm going to give it a class of box one, and then another class of menu panel, and then the one for the content area. And the same thing, I'm going to give it a class of box 2, and then okay. So now I want these two to be set up aligned, though they're going to expand the full height and all of that. I want them to be displayed aligned with each other. So within the CSS file, what I need to do here on the main content wrapper, on the main wrapper, is give it a display of flex. Okay, so for box 1, what I need to do is I'm going to copy the comment there. So for the width, I'm going to give it about 270 pixels. So I'm going to say flex basis, yes. And then I'm also going to give it a border of green so that we can see how it's actually lined up. Let's give it a height of 100%. So let's just check it there. Okay, so that's our menu panel there. So now we're going to do the exact same thing, but with just a slight difference within box 2. This time I'm going to give it a color of a border of green, of blue, and then flex basis I'm going to make it 100%. Okay, so let's just check it there. Alright, so basically that's our menu panel on that side, and then this is our main content area. Now I'm going to first start off by working on the elements that are going to go within box 1, which is the menu panel. So the first thing I need to do is give this a background color, and the background color that I went for was as you see it there. So I'm going to just take that, let's just check it there. Okay, so that's the background color. So now I'm gonna remove all the borders there, all the borders on the main wrap, the menu panel, along with the content area, since we can now see where is what element is positioned where. Okay, so let's check it one more time. All right, so there we have it. So now I'm gonna work on the elements that are gonna go within the menu panel first. So within the dashboard in box one, what I first need to do is create the demo app logo, or rather, let me just say fake logo. All right, so I'm gonna give it a class of. All right, and then within here, I'm gonna use a font awesome icon to do that. So I'm gonna say um, FA, and then I'm gonna give it a margin of right. I'm gonna give it 1. And here I'll just type demo app logo. Okay, so then I'm gonna copy this class here. I'm just gonna put this underneath box 1. So I'm gonna say display flex align center justify content center. The other thing is I'm gonna make it I'm gonna give it a height of 5%. Okay, let's just check and see how it looks. Oh, sorry, I need to also give it a color. So for the font, I'm gonna say color. It's gonna give it a white color. But for the icon itself, I'm gonna change that to warning. So let's just check it there. So there we have it. I'm gonna also give it a little bit of a, I'm gonna add an extra margin there so that we can have them separated there. So I'm just gonna increase that from 1 to 2. Okay, so that should be a bit better there. Now I'm gonna work on the fake config button there. So now underneath the demo logo, I'm gonna say right. So I'm gonna say fake config btn, right? And then I'm gonna give it a color of primary, which is gonna be bg primary. Okay, so now I'm gonna add another icon there, and I believe the icon that I used the last time was quote. then the text was configuration. Alright, let's just see now how it looks. Okay, so there we have it. So now I'm gonna give it some padding, and then I want the text to align to the middle. Alright, so what I need to do is I'm just gonna copy that there. Then I'm gonna copy the class. So the color of the font is gonna be white. And then the padding, or actually I need to align them to the middle. So I'm gonna say display flex, and align items. And then justify them to the center. Then I'm just gonna give it some padding from the top. So I'm gonna say about 7px and 0px there. Okay, let's just see how it looks now. Okay, so there we have it. I'm gonna add a little bit of a margin between the icon there and also from the sides there, so that it's in the middle. So what I'll do for the margin for the button itself, I'm gonna say margin. I'll say 0. Let me just give it a 5 pixel, and then to the side I'm gonna say 10 pixels. All right, let's check it now. Okay, so at least there's about 10 pixels on each side. So now I'm gonna give it a rounded border. So the border radius is gonna be about 2 pixels. Okay, so there we have it. So now the last thing is just to add a margin between the icon there along with the text. So for that, I'm going to use Bootstrap, and we're just going to go within right there where it says FA cogs, and then just say margin right, and leave about 2. Okay, so that's our fake button there. Now the one last thing that we need to add within our menu panel is going to be the menu list, which is going to be that. So for that, what I'll do is underneath the config button there, and I'll give it a class of fake menu. And then from there on, I'm going to add the menu list. So what I'll do is I'll give it a list item, and I'm going to give it a class of fake menu list. So within here, I'm going to add an icon first, which is going to be FA desktop, which this is going to be for and I'm just going to copy that a couple of times. All right, so this one I'll say it's going to be the profile management or something like that. By the way, don't forget that, guys, this is just for show. It's not really going to do anything. So if you want to name your menu panel, whatever, or your menu list, whatever, that's also fine. I'm just going to give it that, just to give it some body. Say system management, and let me just give it one last one. Maybe I'll say client management. Okay, so that's our menu list. So now let's give it some styling. And I'm going to copy the class. Alright, so the margin, I'm just going to give it about 20 px from the top, but then 0 from the side. And then the font size, I just want it to be about 12 pixels. Font weight, maybe about 200, and then actually for that, I'll I'll just cancel that for now. I want the menu list to be about to be uppercase. Then the color is going to be let me just give it a grayish color. So that's for the fake menu wrapper. So for the list items, I'm gonna copy that there. And I believe I said fake menu list. All right. First, let me just see how it actually looks at for the current view for the current time. All right. So that's how it actually looks now. We will change the icons a bit later on. So what I need to do now is remove the list style type, and I want to make it to none. Give it a padding of 7px and then 15px, and then I'm going to say display flex, and then align them to the middle. Let's just see now how it looks. Okay, so there we have it. So now I want to change the icons and then put some margin between them. Right, so for this one, I'll say and then for the third one, and then the client one, be FA users. Then this one will change to database. Right. So now the one last thing I wanted to do was actually add a margin to the right. Okay, let's check it now. Okay, so there we have it. That's our menu list there. Alright, so I think that should be it in regards to the menu panel because that's all I did for it. Okay, so now the final thing I want to do now is to add a bottom or a border to the bottom of the menu list. So what I'm going to do here where it says menu list, say border bottom. I'm going to say 0.5 px solid in a dark gray color. Just going to make it to about there. Let's just check it and see how it looks. Okay, I don't know if you can see them, but they are there. Now I'm gonna add a border to the top there. But for that, I'm gonna add it onto the fake menu wrapper there. So what I'll do is I'll copy that, paste it there, and then just change that from bottom to top. Okay, so if you check it now, there we have it. So basically that's it for the menu panel.